She was the previous MEC for Health in the Eastern Cape Province, and before that, she served as the MEC for Development and Agrarian Reform, tongue twister. She served as the MEC for the Development and Agrarian Reform. She served in different roles in local government until she became the executive mayor of the OR Tambo District Municipality in the Eastern Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please put our hands together for the opening address that is going to be given by the Honorable Minister of Employment and Labor, Minister Nomakhosazana Meths. Minister.
Thank you so much, Chairperson of BUSA, Ms. Mavuso. It's cold up here. I'm the most disorganized person. I wanted to disorganize this arrangement, and I wanted to come up with my deputy ministers because I didn't understand why I'm put all by myself. But my apologies, maybe because of the protocols of summits. If you are not part of the people who will speak, you don't get to be allocated here. And unfortunately, those who are supposed to speak, I received some apologies that they will be joining online, so I understand. Good morning to you once more, Program Director, Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency Paul Mashatile, Honorable Deputy Ministers of Labor, Honorable Sbiya and Honorable Mgcina, Honorable Deputy Minister of DTIC, Honorable Godlimpi, Honorable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor, Honorable Maneli, Honorable members of the Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor, former Ministers of Employment and Labor, Deputy Chairperson of the Presidential Climate Commission, Mr. Vali Musa, leaders of network constituencies, Mr. Kulekani Mate, for organized business, Mr. Soli Petswe, organized labor, Mr. Tulani Chefuta, community constituency, Mr. Teminkosi Mkhalipi, overall convener of government. Former leaders of Network Social Partners, Network Executive Director, Ms. Lisa, PCC Executive Director, Dr. Crispian, the United Nations Resident Coordinator in South Africa, Mr. Nelson Muff, Dialogue Director, Pretoria Office, Mr. Alexio Mosindo, leaders of the social dialogue institutions in Africa who are present here with us, both physically and online. President of High Council of Social Dialogue, Senegal, Ms. Deb Innocence, Principal Secretary of National Advisory Committee on Labor, Lesotho, Mr. Moshe Mosase, Chairperson of the Labor Advisory Board, Eswatini, Mr. Mtunzi Shabangu, Team Leader of the Tripartite Negotiating Forum, Zimbabwe, Mr. Clemens Vosani, all distinguished guests from all spheres of government and all sectors of our society, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this 29th NETLEC Annual Summit. We are particularly honored that the Deputy President, Mr. Paul Mashatile, though not here in person, will be delivering his keynote address to this summit, and that affirms government's collective commitment to strengthening the partnerships that are vital to South Africa's future. This occasion is especially significant as it precedes a historic milestone that we plan to celebrate in 2025, the NETLEC 30th anniversary. The National Economic Development and Labor Council remains a pride of the country as we craft the way to the next 30 years. Coincidentally, 2024 marks 30 years since South Africa rejoined the International Labour Organization and Convention 144 on tripartite consultation influenced that establishment of this very important institution of ours in South Africa in 1995, even when C-144 was not yet ratified by our country. The world applauds NETLAC not only because of its existence and as a case study for best practice, but more because of the impact NETLAC has had in the socio-economic environment of South Africa. Since its inception, NETLAC has been the cornerstone of our country's social dialogue, bringing together government, business, labor, and community sectors to shape the policies that drive our economic and social progress. I'm encouraged by the social partnership priority areas, as these are perfectly aligned to the government's strategic priorities, which are to drive inclusive growth and job creation, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living, to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. The many pieces of legislation that define our economy and labor market today remain a thread that connects all of us. The recent completion of negotiations of the amendments to about 60 sections in our labor laws is a case in point. To improve the labor market's efficiency and promote workers' rights, particularly in the face of the changing nature of work. These amendments will continue to define our labor market beyond today, hence the dialogue between social partners remain a central convergence point in South Africa's democracy. We hold this annual summit under unique circumstances, where the 7th administration, characterized by the ANC-led Government of National Unity, the GNU, had resolved to dedicate the next 5 years to actions that will advance 3 strategic priorities: to drive inclusive growth and job creation, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living, and to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. Government is in a process of finalizing the Medium-Term Development Plan, MTDP, 2024-2029. And through this plan, clear objectives and a roadmap to achieve the priorities will be articulated. The GNU presents us with an opportunity and challenges, and using the consultative muscle of NETLAC, it is my belief that we can maximize on the opportunities presented to us and achieve much more as the country. As we reflect on the past 3 decades, we acknowledge the vital role NETLAC has played in fostering an inclusive, consultative approach to policy making that has been central to our democratic ethos. Today, as we gather to discuss the pressing challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, we are reminded of the collective strength that defines this institution. NETLAC's unique model of engagement is not just a symbol of our commitment to participatory governance, it is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together towards common goals. This year's summit comes at a pivotal moment where our country is faced with numerous challenges: unemployment, economic inequality, poverty, and the need for radical, inclusive, job-creating economic growth, all within a rapidly evolving global context. We meet at a point where the data from the quarterly labor force survey Q2 report states that approximately 3.6 million out of the 10.3 million young people aged 15 to 24 years were not in employment, education, or training. This number continues to increase, and it is a challenge we must tackle collectively as social partners. South Africa, as a global player, is not immune from the effects of the polycrisis, digitalization, climate change, and geopolitics climate that we're operating under. But also, climate change affects employment, economic stability, and social protection measures. But I'm pleased to note that significant strides against climate change are being made through Presidential Climate Commission. As we navigate these complex issues, NETLAC's role remains more crucial than ever before. We must continue to champion the values of dialogue, consensus building, and mutual respect that have underpinned our progress as a country. I like the approach of NEDLAC. When I was introduced, told that there is no voting. Everything is on consensus, which is something that builds institutions and builds countries. That's why you are progressing so well as NEDLAC, and we must learn something from that consensus building approach of NEDLAC. This summit is thus not only an occasion to look back at 3 decades of collective achievement and reflect on the challenges encountered, but also an opportunity to reflect on our shared path going forward with renewed commitment. We have navigated the complexities of enhancing labor market policy to enable inclusive economic growth and job creation. In recent years, NEDLAC has successfully coordinated social partners' responses to crises such as the energy crisis, the broader economy, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Indeed, NEDLAC stands as a beacon of collaboration, embodying the spirit of social dialogue and consensus. As we journey through the 21st century, NEDLAC's role becomes increasingly vital in fostering sustainable economic growth, ensuring equitable labor practices, and promoting social justice. The 30-year report, which is being publicly launched today, is testament to our successes together and a crucial tool for understanding the lessons learned and as well as the priority focus areas as we advance to the next 30 years. The report indicates that there is a strong consensus among social partners on the urgent need to address various critical areas. I will highlight just a few. On structural reforms, we welcome the commitment of social partners to continue to partner with government to implement structural reforms to enhance economic efficiency and address entrenched disparities. As government, we thank you for existing efforts, especially businesses led by BUSA, and welcome your partnerships in the areas of energy, water, freight, public transport, and digital issues. On infrastructure development, government needs all social partners to prioritize infrastructure development to support economic growth, improve service delivery, and create job opportunities. On social security, in the face of climate change and digital transitions, the need for a comprehensive social security is acknowledged. The government is committed to partnering to improve and extend the social security systems of grants, unemployment insurance, and pension. The two-pot retirement system is an important measure to assist distressed workers. Measures such as these need to be implemented to cushion workers facing just transition. State capacity. We must strengthen state capacity, especially at local government level, to ensure effective implementation of policies and delivery of services. State capacity is not only a government project. Workers in the public service can play a crucial role in ensuring a more responsive government. These key issues require an unwavering partnership and robust social dialogue by social partners to create lasting solutions that will build our economy, strengthen the labor market, create jobs, and address a number of pressing social and economic challenges facing our country, such as triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Madam Chair, in conclusion, I want to commit my support to your work as NEDLAC and would like to encourage social partners to continue engaging as your work manifests into the global footprint in employment and labor sector. It would be careless of me not to share with you the capacity challenges we have found in compensation fund and unemployment insurance fund. And these are both in terms of skills and governance. These fault lines were highlighted sharply by Auditor General recently. And to this extent, we are prioritizing these capacity challenges through the organizational repurposing of the department to strengthen capacity and capabilities. Equally, I want to assure you as social partners that we will be acting accordingly against any official of the department that compromises governance processes. I want to thank all of you, our social partners, stakeholders, and members of the NEDLAC community, regional community, and international agencies for your support, dedication, and tireless efforts. Your contributions ensure that NEDLAC continues to serve as a beacon of collaborative governance. I would like to commend NEDLAC and CCMA for the clean audit outcomes, and congratulations to NEDLAC, as we know that it is their first clean audit outcome. And I think they deserve just a big round of applause from the House. This is particularly commendable as we want to inculcate a culture of good governance and excellence throughout the Dell family. As we look ahead to the next 30 years, let us recommit ourselves to the values that have brought us this far. Together, we can build a South Africa that is more inclusive, more equitable, and more prosperous for all. I wish you a productive and inspiring summit. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the opening address from the Minister of Employment and Labor, Minister Nomakosazana Meths.